from my eyes. No love, fuck y'all niggas. Hope you die slow, devils are contest. See the lowest tucker protest. Can't fuck with you, we rap niggas. With your gay raps. Running around talking this and talking that. See me in the streets, try to give me that. Andrew Cunanan ass niggas. My two cannons blast niggas, ass niggas. Got me fucked up in the game. Get your shirt stained. Get 5 mics, nigga, give me the cane. The shit to clean my money, dummies. Gleam the wrist out, cock the piss out. Nigga, talk shit now, What type of nigga slang and bang in the streets? Bad boy. What type of nigga stay in the trunk for weeks? Bad boy. What type of nigga fly bad boy? Aim for the sky, cop the shit, bling bling. It's a bad boy. Street sweeping with an evil grin. Watch you die. One love, one life, one shine. Y'all niggas ain't saying nothing like a mine. Every line I live it, I write it with a pencil. So niggas style lead pencil if they write. Hate it on the side. It's a G thing. Me and Puffin St. Bart set it off. Bitches walking topless with G strings. Menage, bust shots at your crew. Another charge as the Gulf Stream fly through the fog.
This is the biggest show in the game. So Monday, we gave it to you. Trick Daddy, Dion Cole. Tuesday, Spike Lee. Wednesday, Irv Lorenzo Gotti. Thursday, I got into my preacher shit, my evangelist. Started talking that real shit. Now, we got Shine, the living legend. The man done did his time. This week has been insane. The competition is studying my DNA, my blueprint. But not like me. I switch it up all the time. Shout out Fan Mio. If you want to connect with your favorite artist. Or GameStar app. If you're a gamer and you want to play against your favorite artist. Shout out to Timberland the King. Mayor Dre from Cool and Dre. Co-executive producer. Azariah Malone Cartagena. You know what it is. Can't nobody fuck with this. I've been giving you 5 months straight of insanity. Shit you thought you knew, but you ain't really know. Because you don't know who I know. You don't know who I know. I love this shit, Dre. I'm telling you, man. I'm having such a great time with this, man. This shit crazy, man. It ain't no sneak. You want me to take the sneaker off my shit and put it up there? He said, where the sneaker at, Joe? I said, you want me to take my sneaker off and put it... The fucking watch ain't enough for you? This shit ain't enough? Fuck it. I'll get it for you. This is brand new. If I ain't walk in this studio, I'd have licked the bottom of this shit for y'all. Chinese, too. The Chinese. The Asian version. Don't play with me, man. Don't call a guard out. Do say Friday. Do say Friday. Do say Friday. Oh. And so, shout out to the Locks. They got an album out right now. We support it. We just posted again. See if my brother Shine is here. So we could turn the fuck up. Not yet. And so you know chandeliers and sneakers fucking right. Congratulations to somebody. I seen a guy post up the AP chandelier from the Bronx. I don't know who he is, but he said, yo, first guy from the Bronx with a chandelier. I had to call Pristine Jewelers really quick and say, yo, the first guy who ever had a chandelier is from the Bronx. His name Joe Crack the Dawn. And I'm petty like that. But salute to you. I don't know who you is, but the guy from the Bronx who got a chandelier, God bless you, my brother. I like that. This is by far the biggest show in the game. We are not playing with these people. And we will not stop. We will not be undersold. We will not stop. We will not be undersold. Y'all see what's going on out there? Major protest. Shout out to the Reverend Al Sharpton, friend of the show. He's been on the show. Shout out to Benjamin Crump. He's been on our show. Shout out to Mika Mallory. She's been on our show. Erica Ford. She's been on our show. We talk about real shit here. Real change. Hold up. Yeah, the guard ain't on there yet. And when I started the show, they said, damn, Joe, I love you, Joe, man. Do it once a week, once a month. How you going to keep going on? How you going to be able to bring all these stars out? Last week, Mark Anthony, Mary J., Keisha Cole, Stephanie Mills, Keith Sweat threw a concert. How you going to keep this shit going? I said, man, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. This week was such a big week. I thought last week was big. This week is such a big week. How do we continue the shit? How do we continue? What's up, Jess? It's the big show. And so, I just saw a video. Well, I don't vote Trump. I mean, you must have been under a rock or something. You guys vote Trump. That's you guys. You guys love Trump. Not me, bro. That's your guy. And don't think blacks and Latinos ain't voting for Trump. They voting for that guy. Don't think they not voting for him. They definitely voting for him. Shout out to Maestros. They gave me a nice birthday cake, Maestros. I went up in there, just got me a nice bone and ribeye. Little salad with that. And still they try to bring me back to the fat land. Bring out the butter cake. Now, I'm not going to lie. I ate the whipped cream. That was the least damage I could do. If you've been to Maestros, they bring out that butter cake. I don't know a human being that can say no to that butter cake. I did. I ate the whipped cream. That was the lesser of the evils. I tried. And yes, I worked out today. Every day. I got an elliptical in my bedroom. Shit is like a Rolls Royce. And so that it's so easy to talk yourself out of working out. That if you got the shit right next to the bed, though. It's not for me. I can't lie to myself. I got to throw my knees on. Because you know I wear them knees, the cushion. Shout out Steve Stowe from the Miami Heat. He gave me professional knee cushion. Because my knees ain't so good. And I just get on that motherfucker and I'm gone. I'm waiting on Poe. Yes, sir. And so, well, if you can't vote, why don't you try encouraging the others to vote? Bring the old lady from the neighborhood. If you can't vote, you can knock on the door and ask the old lady and the old men, do they want to vote, and walk with them to the voting place. Shout out LeBron James. I don't know if it's a rumor, but I'm hearing the NBA is going to bring the polling sites to the arenas. You heard that, Drake? That's major. Because you know they've been working hard on that voter suppression. Meaning they don't want you to vote. And some people say it ain't important. My vote don't count. But there's a reason why they don't want us to go and vote. And so, especially down in the ATL and all that, they've been like really fucking with the people. So this is such an important election. That is such an important election that you can make yourself, even if you're a felon, take the lady, take your mother, take your grandmother, take everybody down, support them while they vote, take them back. There's many ways you could do it. You can't vote. It might be hot. Like in Miami, that should be 10,000. When I went to vote for Obama, I stood online for like 4 or 6 hours. 100 degrees. Everybody need a water here and there. You might want to give somebody a water. And remind them who to vote for, because sometimes people don't really know who they voting for. There's no other way Donald Trump won. Everybody who said they wasn't going to vote for him, voted for him. Real shit. Yeah, Yonkers, y'all scaring me, man, because y'all the only ones that got permission for the strip club. I haven't been up there, but I heard that shit is like a zoo in that bitch. Not one mask in sight. Y'all motherfuckers there. Y'all in that Yonkers strip club. Legend. And so my brother's a little late. But he'll be here. He told me he'll be here. He'll be here. And so Spike Lee came on here and kept trying to tell you, you gotta vote. You gotta vote. And he ain't lying, man. Because you don't want to wake up. I don't know how you felt. And I'm sorry to my friends, my fans that are Republicans. Because, you know, it's two sides of the story. There's people who like Fat Joe's music that love Donald Trump. Most rappers and artists, they ain't out here talking this shit on the front line. But me, I'm my own boss, so I don't really give a fuck. So I'll tell you like it is. And so, you know, I might have lost some fans from this show. Because I speak the real shit. Might have been some guys like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Fat Joe, what's love? I can't believe this. You don't like Donald, the D? And so, no, I don't like the D. And as simple as that. And it's a lot of hate. And this whole country has seen, and I know they say this every time, you know, an election comes around, that this is the best time ever. This is the realest time ever. Yo, listen to me, man. You better get out there and vote. This is the most important time to vote. Let me give you one, right? So the way Donald Trump was talking and the Republicans was talking was like, yo, don't vote for Joe Biden. Your city's going to burn up. It's going to be out of control. It's going to be this. If you vote for Biden, it's really, well, that's happening now. While you are president. president of law and order and all that shit. They doing that shit now. Black people are dying. Cops are killing them. And so what's going to change? Motherfuckers are delusional, man. Gentlemen, without further ado, we never false advertise. Yo, Sean, what's up, my brother?
What's happening, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm in Belize, working hard, trying to help people, trying to inspire people, trying to uplift and empower my people.
Sean, I want to take you back, and I know you're doing incredible things, and it's the reason why. It's the reason why I'm gonna take you back. I know where you at now.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I'm gonna take you back, because somebody might be in that same transitional phase and need to hear what you went through so they can be inspired to take that same move, or they can be the powers that be watching this and they could finally believe a story of redemption, that someone can change.
Absolutely.
They don't believe you can change. They do not believe it.
Absolutely.
They do not believe Fat Joe has changed. Fat Joe was a gangster. He's a drug dealer. He was this. He'll never change. He's faking it when he talks positive. That's what they think, Sean.
Yeah.
And so, my brother, thanks for coming on here. How did you first get your record deal? How do you get in the game?
You know, I got in the game. I was so determined, and I was so passionate, and I was so invincible. I think one of the things, you know, I'm 41 years old right now. One of the things that we have as young people, all the young people, you know, I encourage them to tap into that invincibility that young people have. You know, when I was 18, you know, I felt like Neo from the Matrix. I felt like I could do absolutely anything. And I had been through a lot. You know, when I was 16, I had almost lost my life. You know, I had gotten shot, and after I gotten shot, you know, I had made a promise to my mom, you know, that I would stay out of trouble, you know, after we dealt with whatever people deal with once they get shot. You know, once you take care of that situation, then, you know, I had promised my mom that I would not continue along that road. You know, I had promised my mom that I would stay on a different path and try to do different things. But that experience, that near-death experience, made me even more invincible, because I felt, you know, if I could, you know, stare death in the face and not blink. I think I said that in one of my raps. You know, I stared death in the face and never blinked. You know, what couldn't I do? So what I used to do as part of promise I made to my mom, you know, to stay off the streets, to not be like my cousins, and to go to school, get my high school diploma. I got a bike. I borrowed a 18-speed bike, and I started delivering packages in Manhattan. So I used to ride my 18-speed bike that I got from my cousin Ron Dew in Brooklyn. What's up to everybody in Brooklyn?
Everybody got a cousin Ron Dew.
Yeah,
Everybody
tennis court.
got a cousin Ron Dew.
Yeah, tennis court, Church Avenue, Newkirk, Forest Avenue. I got a bike from him, and I said, you know, I just graduated high school. I'm gonna go, you know, I gotta get a job. I told my moms that I was gonna do the right thing, and you know, I can't disappoint Mama Love. So I used to ride from Brooklyn over the Brooklyn Bridge to Manhattan, and I'd be delivering messages, packages, boxes, everything. But the places that I'd be delivering the messages would be Sony, you know, it would be Loud Records. I remember one time I went up to Def Jam, Russell was there. I was like, listen, man, you got to listen to me. I'm the best thing that you ever gonna hear. I used to see the street team vans, and I'd be on my bike delivering a message, and I'd chase them down and spit for them. And so one day I was in my barbershop. You know, I'll never forget my barber, Topper. And, you know, the barbershop is the realest place that you can go. You know, barbers don't lie. You know, that's the most ruthless, brutal place of honesty that you can go.
I say that's where they elect
presidents.
I say that's where they elect presidents.
Yeah, that's where it's at. So my all the barbers, you know, would always listen to me spit my rhymes, and they'd be like, "Yeah, Shine, you got it. You got it. You know, you better than these dudes on TV." And one day after I finished getting my hair cut, a fella was walking out the barbershop, and some just told me, you know, just run up on this guy. And I ran up on him. I said, listen, man, you in the music industry? Because, you know, I'm the best thing out here right now. And I just, you know, hit him with a 16, probably hit him with a 48, with a 72. And, you know, he was blown away. And fortunately for me, he was linked to Don Pooh. You know, maximum respect to Don Pooh, who was linked to Mark Pitts, who was linked to Puff, you know, who was linked to Manny Haley, who right now, you know, he managed Future, he managed Nicki, he had managed Keisha Cole at one point. He's doing movies right now, doing great things. And so once I got with those guys, you know, that was it.
So you get in the game.
I get in the game. First, I get with Don Pooh. I get with Imani Haley. I get with Austin. That was the guy from the barbershop. I don't give him enough credit. I don't know where he's at right now, but wherever he is, I thank you. I pay homage, you know, because he's the one that brought me to everybody else. And once they brought me to everybody else, it was me and Manny. I think you know Manny. Me and Manny was driving.
I know Manny well. I know Don Pooh.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, Manny. Don Pooh. That's my brother.
Yeah, happy birthday, Don Pooh.
He got the Brooklyn Chop House.
Yeah, Manny was getting money in Brooklyn. He was a young guy getting money in Brooklyn. So we'd be driving around in the Expedition. That's when the Expedition just came out. I had my Nike shoebox of rhymes, you know, and I'd just be writing rhymes every day in the Expedition.
And so I remember when you first came out, they was like, yo, Puff signed this kid, he sound like Biggie though.
But before I got the Puff, Leo Cohen locked me in the office. Chris Lighty and Leo Cohen, you know, rest in peace, Chris Lighty, baby Chris. You know, he heard about me. You know, he had me come over to Violator, which is in the same building as Def Jam over on Varick Street. Mm-hmm. That's when Swiss Beats was just coming up. And he popped in the Swiss Beats tapes of beats. And I just went ape on the beats. And he was like, come on, we're going to see Leo right now. We went to see Leo. I rapped again. I never forget, Irv Gotti was in there. Again, Jay-Z, I have nothing but love and respect for him. He's a great guy. I admire him. You know, I consider him a mentor. But, you know, I was young and invincible. I was talking greasy about him because he didn't want to sign me. In the meeting with Irv Gotti and Leo, but I was so hot, Leo was like, we got to sign him right now. He didn't care what I was saying. You know, in retrospect, I almost, you know, cost myself a deal. But again, I was so invincible. You know, I had so much confidence that, you know, Leo didn't want me to leave. And then when Puff heard about Leo, heard about Sylvia Rome, heard about, you know, it was a crazy bidding war. He flew me out to the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles, and the rest is history.
And so, how did you take to people saying that you sound like Big?
I mean, you know, it's been 20 years, and you listen to my voice. And
it's your real voice.
Because
I met a million, every fat Puerto Rican sends me a demo and they sound like Big Pun. I'm sorry, like, no way your
Yeah.
voice is like Big Pun's voice. No way you
Yeah.
was born with Big Pun's voice. But 20 years later, listening to your voice, and anytime I ever
Yeah.
deal with you, it's the
It's the
same
same. It's the
voice.
same voice. Yeah, and you know, if you listen to my father, I actually get my vocals from my father. You know, he's one of the greatest orators. You know, he's on that Barack Obama level, and you know, he don't let anybody in. We're closed right now. He has to come back. All right, thank you. Yeah, you know, my father's one of the greatest orators, and I have his voice exactly. You know, when I speak, people listen to me speak, and they think, you know, that I'm my father. So actually, I sound like my father.
So one of the hardest, we started off the show with the song
Go outside and
You
talk to him, please.
You in Jamaica, with Wolf, rest in peace, with the kids chasing the Benz. Whoa!
Yeah.
And what was like that? Was that when everything really, really kicked off?
You know, when we had recorded that song like in 90, I think it was 99, summer 99, in August. I think this month right here. We was in the Hamptons. And you know, as you said, I had taken a lot of heat because here I was, you know, a young Brooklyn kid, you know, with this baritone, this distinctive baritone. And, you know, whenever you come out, people always try to class you. You know, Chris Brown sound like Usher, you know, Usher sound like Michael Jackson, The Weeknd sound like Michael Jackson, until you establish yourself and, you know, you distinguish yourself. But I was taking a lot of heat. You know, I was young, I was reckless. You know, I'm from Brooklyn. You know, I got $1 million at the age of 18. Nobody ever believed in me. Nobody ever gave me anything. It was just me and my mom's. You know, living a hard life. So once I got that million, you know, I really didn't know how to act. You know,
They really
you know,
get me either. Me
yeah,
either.
I was on one. I heard
Don't be
about your
mad at
story.
yourself. Me either.
Yeah, I heard about your story where you was taking $50,000 out the bank every day. You know,
Every day, man, I
yeah.
ran through
So
millions. My asshole got this tight, Sean.
yeah,
When I went
so
to the bank and the man told me, yo, I'm sorry, Mr.
yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
There's no more
So
money in here.
yeah, you know, so we recorded that record '99 because '98, you know, I was just, you know, having fun, you know, being an 18-year-old with $1 million. You know, but at the end of '98, I'll never forget, you know, I was very much into the R&B, the superstar R&B girls. You know, I'm not going to say any names, but there was a particular R&B girl, and she was a superstar. You know, she was young, you know, had like the #1 record song in the world, you know, for weeks at a time. And she was, you know, she was on another level. And, you know, we had a little relationship, you know, but I was young. I was from Brooklyn, and I thought that the world was about me. And I never forget, you know, we had an argument, and it was coming to the end of '98. And she was like, listen, you ain't sell one record. I don't know who you think you are, but your little Range Rover and your little platinum Rolex and your little condo in Fort Lee don't mean nothing. I sold tens of millions of records. You ain't sell one record. And that hit me like that. That struck a chord. You know, that really spoke to me. And it was good. I'm happy that it happened, and I thank her for that happening because that woke me up. And that let
Is
me
she
know
still
that,
alive, Shine?
yeah,
Is she
yeah,
still alive?
yeah, she's a legend. She had TV shows, she had movies, she sold, you know, tens of millions of
I
records.
seen her
She's
on
still
Rikers
alive.
Island when I went to see you. She was sitting on your lap.
Yeah, so listen,
When I went to visit you on Rikers
not
Island,
that
she
one.
was sitting on
Not
not that
not
one.
Not that one. No,
Ah,
no.
damn, son.
Yeah,
Man,
but
it was
the
more than
moment.
that.
Well, listen, I'm married with a beautiful wife.
I
You know,
know.
God bless my
Yo,
wife.
listen, Sean, we just
God
taking a
bless my
walk through
daughter.
memory lane. I see the
Yeah,
family every day. I see the wife,
yes,
the
yes,
baby. God bless them.
yes.
We the
So
most
we
respectful
just putting
people
it
in the
in
world.
perspective. We putting in perspective how I got to the Bad Boys song, the journey, because it was a journey. Like I said, you know, I was young, millionaire, didn't know what to do, thought $1 million was a lot of money, didn't realize $1 million is nothing. But this R&B superstar, and there was another rap superstar, we ain't gonna say who she is, they both put me, you know, in check and put me in perspective and let me realize that I'm not here just to have, you know, a nice watch or a nice car. I'm here to be a legend. You know, when it's said and done, you know, whether I sell tens of millions of records, you know, I want to make classic albums. I need to distinguish myself. I need to establish, shine the brand that could live forever, that could be exactly where we are right now, which is 20 years later. We celebrating the Shine album, September 26th. And I'm a hip hop legend. You know, I put out 2 classic albums. I might have never even put out an album if it wasn't for those encounters where people, you know, told me about myself, and I realized at that moment in time what I wanted to be. So when the ball dropped, 1999, 1998, December 31st, that was it. I said, listen, no more Cristal, no more buying out the bar, no more none of that. Like, I was so crazy. You know, me and Puff is cool now. We've reconciled. At that time, I was so crazy. I was such a crazy Brooklyn kid. I used to try to talk to his girlfriend. You
Oh,
know, I, I might have even snuck off with one of his, you know, favorite girlfriends. Um, that's how out of it I was as a young boy.
wait a minute. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
This is a joke moment. Like, will we know one of these the girlfriend?
I'm not gonna say who it is. You have to ask him off the record and let him tell you the story. Maybe he'll come on after this. Because like I said, me and
Cause
Puff
you
is
know
all
this.
right. I spoke to Puff maybe like two
All right,
months
let's.
ago. He supports my
I saw y'all
candidacy
good. He
in the House of
supporting what you're
Representatives.
doing.
That's my guy.
Okay, so let's spin it and say you in Jamaica. Y'all shooting this video. You got Wolf, rest in peace, with you.
Yeah,
You got the goons with you. They
yeah,
chasing the Benz. This is an
yeah.
iconic moment in hip hop. What
Iconic.
was that like? Being a young dude, $1 million in the bank account, having some shit like this out.
At that point, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the ego. It was all about the art. It was all about, you know, me making the greatest records, and I wanted to go down in the annals of hip hop history. I wanted to be, you know, one of the greatest ever, and that's what I was chasing. You know, so I wanted to make timeless, classic music. So before I got to Jamaica, you know, I had to get on Funk Master Flex. I'll never forget. It was like May, and Flex, you know, was just dropping bombs after bombs after bombs. That was really the moment, you know, because I really fought to get to Jamaica. I fought to even get in the studio after, you know, the entire incident, you know, in Club New York, you know, because BMG wanted to drop me, and I might have never came out with an album. This is, you know,
After the
1999,
incident, after the
going
incident,
after the incident. You know, so by the time I got to Jamaica, I'll tell you what was happening in Jamaica. In Jamaica, I was fasting. I was fasting because, you know, I'm a spiritual person. I've always been a spiritual person. So what was happening for me in my life at that time was a miracle, because that incident in Club New York almost ended my career. And, you know, I would have just went back to Brooklyn, you know, and I would have been, you know, nobody, you know, and all I used to pray for is, you know, I know that I defended myself, I defended my friends, and my prayer to God
all right,
was, you
so
know,
Sean,
yeah,
when that happened,
yeah,
when that incident you allegedly did that,
Yeah.
Did you feel as if you were in fear for your life, or was you protecting your friends?
I was in fear for my life.
What would make
And I
you
was,
think, in top of the world, you in there with
yeah,
Puff, you in there with
because
J-Lo?
Scar, listen, no. Scar, who was the instigator, I know Scar from Brooklyn. Those are my guys. I didn't really have a problem with them. That wasn't my beef. That was Puff's issue. They had a problem with Puff for whatever reason. I don't know what their problem was with Puff. I'm not saying that it was a legitimate problem, but
So
that
what I'm
wasn't my
saying,
problem.
what I'm saying to you is,
Scar, Nino, and the entire Brooklyn crowd was in Club New York. I seen them. It was all love. But when they started arguing with Puff, I know what these Brooklyn guys are capable of. I know what Scar's capable of. I knew what Nino was capable of. I know my charger. I know what happens once these arguments start. You know, when these arguments start, you know, it becomes a problem. I'm just trying to charge my phone.
what I'm saying to you, I'm
serious
saying to you,
problem. So
Sean.
once Scar starts saying, you know, I'm gonna kill you, you know, you DOA, you know, once he starts talking crazy, yeah, I became afraid for my life. I know what happens, you know, once he says, you know, it's about to happen, you know, it's about to happen. And I seen somebody reach for a gun, and I reached for my weapon, and I defended my friends and myself, because once he starts firing, once whoever else pulls out a gun starts firing, it doesn't stop there.
So,
You know,
Sean, you don't
anybody can
think,
become a target.
Sean, you don't think I'm over here with Puffy? There's two ways to think of it. I'm over here with Puffy. I'm over here with J-Lo, the biggest, richest stars in the world. This shit gonna be on CNN? Or do you just react at the time like, yo, I got it?
I'm thinking about saving my life. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
Mm-hmm. And how did Puffy take it at the moment? Did he take it as, yo, you fucking my shit up doing that? Or thank you for saving my life?
You know, I think for him, it was more, you know, he's a corporation. And he's just thinking about the corporation. So obviously, you know, something like that affects the corporation terribly. But at the time, I was just thinking life or death. You know, so
See, I didn't know
we didn't have an opportunity for him to say thank you for saving my life, for saving Jennifer's life, you know, for saving all our lives, because he was thinking about, you know, the corporation, and you know, that put the corporation.
Do you think he thinks you jumped the gun? Do you think he thinks you jumped the gun?
You know, you'd have to ask him that. You could ask me, do I think I jumped the gun? And my answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And so now you in trial, one of the most legendary trials in the world.
Yeah.
You fighting for your life, Puffy fighting, Wolf fighting. And we ain't got to go into detail, but I feel like you felt like the other lawyers was like, yo, my guy ain't do it. Maybe that guy did it. That's the word on the street. That's
absolutely what it was, you know, and you know, Puff apologized. He did apologize to me for that, you know, when we met in Paris. And, you know, he did say, you know, he could have handled it better, but he was under a lot of pressure, you know, from the lawyers, you know, to throw me under the bus. And that's exactly what, you know, Benjamin Brafman and Johnny Cochran and the entire Dream Team, that was their position, you know, because again, Puff was a corporation, you know, Puff, you know, is a $500 million corporation. And so nobody is going to sacrifice the corporation, you know, for anyone else, you know.
And I'm taking that J-Lo was terrified.
Huh?
I'm taking that J-Lo was terrified.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously it was a terrifying moment for all of us. I was terrified because I know Scar. You know, rest his soul. You know, he's dead now, but I know Scar. I know these guys from Brooklyn. I knew what they were capable of. So that was not me trying to, you know, flex. That was not me trying to demonstrate bravado. That was not me trying to get a name. That was me really trying to, you know, see my mother the next day. And I was always taught that it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
And you know what's crazy though, Sean, is like I believe consistency is key. And I
Yeah,
believe you judge a person by their action. And if something happens and it's something real questionable of anybody, I go back to that same person and I say, well, how this person's been every other time. And then I gotta judge him by that. So like, so you, after 10 years in jail, after being in Belize, changing your life, you saying the same shit. So why
yeah,
wouldn't I believe you by
yeah,
saying you was in fear for your life?
yeah,
And that's why you did that.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely, absolutely.
you go to
And
jail.
one of the things I want to put in perspective is, that's part of it. But the most important part of it, which I think, you told me before we got on here, we're gonna inspire the world. I see a lot of darkness. A lot of destructive forces are out there right now that have a platform that are misleading, our people. And you know, I think that I'm the embodiment of integrity, because the way I behaved after my arrest and during my trial is very important, because there's nothing more that district attorney wanted than the conviction of Sean Puffy Combs. There was nothing
And
more.
I'm gonna go on the record saying I think Puffy would have killed himself if he would have, and this is on Revolt TV.
Yeah,
So they could
but
call
but
me, they could
but
argue with me,
but
they could
but
do whatever. I'm gonna go on record and think Puff Daddy was
yeah,
not gonna do 10 years in jail, 20
yeah,
years in jail.
yeah.
He was not.
But I'm just saying that I want to inspire the new generation that there is such a thing as integrity, there is such a thing as morals, as values, as principles. And I prefer, you could argue that if I would have, because I guess there's another rapper that just told on his entire crew, and he's out now, and he gets, a bunch of streams, and millions of people tune into his live. I prefer to be, you know, you know, penniless. I prefer to just have a regular life and be a regular 9 to 5 or whatever, and
Now
have
let's get to
integrity
that.
and have
Hold up.
morals
Let's
and
get to
values.
this, Sean. Let's get to
Yeah,
this, Sean. It's great that you opened up that window. When you was coming up in the game, you was calling yourself Shine Poe,
yeah,
as if you were influenced by Al Poe from
yeah,
Harlem.
yeah,
And I never understood that.
yeah,
And after you did your time and people took the stand against you and all that, did you
yeah.
ever look at that and say, maybe this is a mistake calling myself Shine Poe?
In retrospect, I guess you could make that argument.
It's a
You could
big
definitely
argument.
make that. You can make that argument. I didn't go out
You
like
didn't
Al Poe,
realize the
but
ramifications
but
of
I didn't
putting
go out
Poe
like
after
Al
the
Poe.
Shine.
But I didn't go out like Al Poe.
Oh, no,
I
no,
didn't go
no,
out like Al Poe.
no.
So I took the name. I got the name Al Poe, or I got the name Sean Poe from one of Al Poe's girlfriends, who was my girlfriend, and she gave me the name Poe because, she thought, that I was just like him. I was young, millionaire, from the streets, and that's how I got that name. So it kind of stuck with me,
So
and
as you reflect back, you realize that the
but
Poe,
there's Edgar Allan Poe as well, the poet. So, you know, you know,
You
I
heard
didn't
it here.
pattern
This
my
is a
life.
Joker moment.
Yeah, I
Yo,
didn't pattern my
it's
life.
Edgar Allan Poe. God
Yeah,
damn, I
I
wish you
didn't
would have
pattern my
told me
life.
that story first.
Yeah.
I wish you would have just said, whoa, wait a minute. I'm like the great narrator, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. No,
So listen,
you know, I'm transparent. I'm not gonna sell you
Sean,
anything.
I've gone to visit other rappers other than yourself in jail, and they've all been in protective custody. They all been different, man. I went to see you on Rikers Island, and you had a different R&B rap super. Tell your wife I love her, and I respect her, and I want to send her a gift. No, because you know I got a wife for life. I'm not trying to throw shit in the game.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm trying to paint the picture, right? But
yeah.
I respect your wife and your family to the highest level.
No, this is in the book. This is in
history.
The TV film. This is
So
in the
I
movie.
walk in Rikers Island. You tell me to come.
Yeah.
And you got an R&B who sells millions of records sitting on your lap in the middle of Rikers Island, and the prisoners are all over, and I'm there with you, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, Sean, he's just in jail. He's in here like it's the streets. And what was it like? Was it different for you when you went up north than it was in Rikers Island? Because in Rikers Island, I seen you, it was a joke.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't, being incarcerated, there's nothing about being incarcerated that's a joke. It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. No matter how you slice it and you dice it, but I'm a warrior, and I conditioned myself, that one day I was going to wake up from this nightmare. So really what I did is I just made the best of my nightmare. But I was living a nightmare, make no doubt about it. But I stayed in prayer. I was a very spiritual person. I'm still a very spiritual person. I pray as much as I did then. I'm just a little bit more about actions, more about my charity work. I have a charity, the Mesopotamian Human and Social Development Foundation. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, helping people, who are impoverished, single mothers, elderly people, drug addicts. So that period was a nightmare. Make no doubt about it.
We get into that, right? I want to know.
Going up north was a nightmare because I was further away from my family. But even when I was on Rikers, I didn't even take visits. I didn't even want to see anybody. I didn't even want anybody to see me in that position. The only reason I had you come and see me, and I had that R&B superstar come and see me, is to show love to my fellow comrades. To let them, to lift their spirits, because I knew the joy and the happiness that would bring to them, and that's what that was really about. So
okay, Sean. Sean, you go upstate, right?
Yeah.
Most people go upstate. They either wild for the night, or they become Muslim.
Yeah.
You become Jewish.
Yeah.
How did? Please explain to me.
My great.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This is a fuck a Jopra moment. This is a Malcolm X moment. Like, we in jail and Malcolm turned into a Muslim. How did you turn into like a Hasidic Jewish?
Yeah, well, initially, my parents, my great great grandparents are Jews from Portugal, Lindo, right? Lindos, they went to Jamaica, and they were ship magnates from Jamaica, and then they came to Belize. My great grandfather Rudolph and George Lindo, and then we go all the way back to David Lindo and to Ephraim Lindo, back in the 1800s, coming from Portugal, going to Jamaica, and then coming to Belize. So that's a part of me, that's a part of my truth. So maybe that's
how did you discover this, Shine? Shine, how did you discover it?
It was just
Everybody,
a part of
Shine.
family. It was just a part of family understanding. Like
So before you even went to jail, there was people in your family was Jews.
well, not Jews like the Jews on Eastern Parkway, but just like Jews, like regular Jews in Tel Aviv who are Jews, and Jews in New York who are Jews, but they don't observe anything Jewish, and they're only Jewish because of their
But
great
Shine, I
grandparents or
seen you
whatever.
with the hat myself. You came to my show in Paris
Well, that was
with
that
the
was
hat and the
after
long jacket
that
with
was
the
after
curls.
that was after I came out of incarceration, because again, like you said, you judge someone
Shine, I thought
based.
you caught a lick or something. I thought you met some Jews in there that was
No,
billionaires.
no, no, no,
And
no, no, no. No, that was my truth. Listen, I changed my name to Moses. I changed my name to Moses. Moses was married to an Ethiopian woman, by the way. Moses is from Egypt. Egypt is in North Africa. So it's really not far-fetched that you have African Jews.
no, I believe your
All Jews.
truth. I got friends that are black Jews from
Yeah, but that's what
Egypt.
I'm trying to say. Being a Jew is not necessarily a race. Being a Jew is a religion. And a
Well,
belief,
if you feed
and a
in,
spiritual thing.
if you feed into what the streets think, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks Shine comes home from 10 years like Tupac and just bombs on everybody. And he's gonna go crazy. And then you come out and you're changed. And it's a beautiful thing, Shine. It's a
Well,
beautiful.
no, you forgetting the period. There was a period where I was going. Yeah, I'm charging my phone, so it keeps falling. But there was a period where I was going, back and forth a little bit. I had some stuff to say about some people when I first came out. But I definitely regret that. More so, than sticking with the name Poe that I was given, by Alpo's girlfriend. I definitely regret all that negative energy. I think I should have came out and I should have focused on making music, and just focused on, reestablishing, and securing my legacy. I think I spent way too much time worrying about other people, and I should have just focused on myself. But what happened is I ended up going to Israel. After I came out, I did a multi-million-dollar deal with Def Jam. LA Reid flew down to Belize on a private plane. Just want to say one love to all the Belizeans watching me out there, because you got a lot of Belizeans in the States, in Los Angeles,
I love the
in New York,
Belizeans.
in
I love the
Chicago,
Belizeans.
in Atlanta. You got the Garifuna crowd, real heavy and real strong, the Belizean Garifuna people. You got the Belizean artists. We got some hot Belizean artists out there doing their thing. King Kosa, check them out. Big Bang, check them out. Those are two of the biggest right now out there in the States trying to do their thing. OT Genesis is a Belizean. He's a Garifuna Belizean, so maximum respect to him. But I came out, I went to Israel just, to go for vacation for Rosh Hashanah, which is something that, I had been saying for the last 10 years that, next year in Jerusalem. So I didn't really come out to go be a Hasidic Jew or to become ultra Orthodox. I just came out to go visit Jerusalem. It's the Holy Land for everybody. It's the Holy Land for Catholics. It's the Holy Land for Muslims. It's the Holy Land for everybody. And I just, wanted to touch the Holy Land. And when I went there and I seen them kids that look just like me, because you got a lot of Jews in Israel, that are Sephardic Jews from Iraq, from Iran, from Ethiopia, from Egypt, that look just like me. And I seen them kids running around with them little things coming down their skull. It just spoke to me, and, we see a lot of people suffering from mental illness, a lot of rappers breaking down mentally right now. I was very concerned that after 10 years that I would preserve my mental health, and I would preserve, my state of mind. And I think it was important. That journey was important. those years that I did in Israel were very important, which is leading to where we at now, where I'm running for the House of Representatives. And I'm going from, being in trouble with the law to making laws that will not oppress the very few, will not oppress the marginalized, will not oppress, those people who are impoverished and who don't have means to do better for themselves. So they might make a mistake and go and commit crimes in order to feed themselves and feed their families. And so, as Ari Melber was talking about on his show, the justice system punishes them to a level where they could never recover from that, and they're criminalized in perpetuity. I'm in a position now where I can legislate and create policy at the root to prevent anyone from even being in a position where they're so desperate to commit crimes. But if they were to happen to commit a crime and make a mistake due to whatever factors or whatever influences, I can make sure that they have a path to redemption, using myself as the greatest example. After I came back to Belize 10 years ago, the first thing I did was I went to the children's home, and I went to visit the kids in the hostel. I went to visit the kids whose parents couldn't take care of them because they were too out of control, and I went to talk to them and try to inspire them and try to lift them up. I went to the prisons to try to say to my brothers and my sisters in the prisons that there's a better way. And I'll be there for them to support them. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I've been helping the musicians in Belize out of my pocket, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm a living, walking redemption song, redemption story. And so it's important for me, as someone who said, "Dear America, I'm only what you made me." It's important for me, who sung all these songs about systematic oppression and a system that doesn't work for the masses. I'm in a position right now to make sure that, at least in Belize, I can create policy and legislation that's going to work for the impoverished, that's going to work for the marginalized and the vulnerable in our society. So that's what Israel did for me. Israel gave me the opportunity to breathe. I sat in a cell for 10 years. That's a nightmare. And I sat in the cell for something that I didn't do. I sat in the cell for trying to defend myself and my friends. And self-defense, they have stand your ground laws in Florida, where you from, or where you live in. Allowed to defend yourself. So imagine sitting there for 10 years for defending yourself and your friends, and watching your life, your career. Even though I was lucky to put out a #1 album, it's still not being out there performing in front of tens of thousands of people, doing what I do. I love making music. I love performing.
They took time. See, time is the most precious thing in the world. And they took these. And I believe everything you say. And I believe you change. And I'm rooting for you to win the election. You deserve it. You have a beautiful family. You have a beautiful spirit. And the reason why I walked them through this, and I don't do this with everybody. Everybody got different stories. Everybody ain't as real as you, Sean. I'm keeping it real. Like you did. Like a real man. You believe in your own Israel.
And we've been friends.
What you believe
You got to tell them we've been friends. We've been friends for 20 years.
We've been friends before you went to jail. And I love you. What you want me to tell somebody? But I needed you to understand that, because even me, somebody like myself, I was a bad guy before I rapped. And there's people in the Bronx, there's people, police, who believe that no way this guy changed. No way this guy, and I've been screaming at everybody, I changed. I'm a nice guy. I used to be with 100 guys. Now I'm with my wife and my daughter. And they still don't believe me, right? I got friends who are powerful, who are rich, or politicians, that their friends tell them in their ear, watch it with this guy. this guy is, and they say, you can't stop me from loving this guy. This guy's a good man. He gives back every chance. He looks out for his community. So I know where you're coming from. So that's why I wanted to explain to people the whole thing. Not to glorify the past or what happened, but to show that someone can honestly change their life and become a beautiful person, a good man, a family man, and even better yet, a politician that can actually make laws that affects the people, the common people.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted you to tell your story, not for nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I definitely, I hope that, as you said, we can inspire this generation to believe in principles, in morals, in values, and integrity. It really does matter. Character really does matter. You know, who you are as a person really does matter. And that's why I think we've been friends for so long. Because I've been, my battery's going out again. I've been this guy with integrity throughout every period of my life, no matter what I've been through. I've been the same guy. And I think that's very important. And that's what has led me to the point I'm at in my life now, where I can lift my nation up. The same way I see the beautiful work you do for Puerto Rico, when they're going through their difficulties, you're always there. I see you getting on the jet, you and Jay and the Rock Nation and everybody. And that's what life is really about. Life is about service to others. And, I thank hip hop. I thank hip hop music for making me who I am. Because as a legislator, as a leader, I thank hip hop for that. Hip hop taught me how to be a CEO. Taught me, I own my own publishing company since I was 19 years old. I started off with a joint venture, then I got a administrative deal, and I own my own publishing company. I own my own record label, my own production company. Hip hop taught me how to be an entrepreneur, which is what I'm teaching young people in Belize.
When do you run? When you run for office? What date?
November 4th.
I'm coming down there, Sean. I'm coming down there.
We open the airports October 1st. If anybody wants to donate, they could donate to my PayPal. Shine Barrel Mess Up 2020 at gmail.com.
I'm coming. Say that again. Say that again, Sean.
Shine Barrel Mess Up. That's MESOP 2020 at gmail.com. But again, it's all about
Sean,
character.
I'm coming
integrity.
down there. I'm coming down there if you allow me to. And I want to put up posters. I want to talk to the people. I want to shake hands.
I need you to come down with that bag. I need you to bring some bags with you. Because,
I'm coming with the bags. I'm coming with the bags.
Make sure you knock on all the doors. Tell all your friends.
I thought you was a change man.
I see you out there with Husky Daddy.
I thought you was a change man. You're shaking me down.
You got it. No, I'm just telling you. You got it. Obama,
Sean,
Biden, all the guys that run for president. They got to come down with the finances. We got to make sure that we have the operation
coming
strong.
And I'm going to help you have people donate to your shit. There's no doubt about it. I'm coming down, and Khaled is in the things, and I'm going to try to gas him to come too. And we're going to go to Belize, and we're going to put up posters for you. Look at what Khaled just said. Shine the real one. Yo, we coming, bro. It's nothing better than having. We bring the bags.
I just saw him in Jamaica. I saw him in Jamaica last year.
We coming to stand right
Shout
next to you.
Shout out to Buja Banton.
Buja Banton, yeah. When Buja Banton came home,
Yes. Yeah, respect to Buja Banton.
You called me and you said, yo, Joe, I'm out in Jamaica. I said, Sean, don't worry. And I plugged you right in with Khaled. And, because you are family, we love you for life.
It was good to see Khaled. Yeah, it was good to see Khaled.
Yo, Sean, let's keep in touch because my battery's wasting too. Let's keep in touch. And I'm coming down there. You need bags, we get bags. Promise. We'll get
Thank
bags.
you, my brother. Thank
But
you, my brother.
I want to come in person. I want to see you win. I want to stand there and look at you win. That's what I want.
And it's going to be a great moment for hip hop. It's going to be a great moment for hip hop when I get elected to the House of Representatives, because that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is transformative. Hip hop is transcendental. Look how many hip hop billionaires we have. That's what we do. We're not just young black men that get shot in the back, or they step on our knee, or they put their knees on our necks and they treat us like animals. No, we're legislators, we're CEOs, we're business owners. And so this is going to be a great moment for hip hop for me to get elected to the House of Representatives and show the other side.
My brother, I love you. God bless you.
Thank
Please
you for
tell
having
your
me,
wife
my
I
brother.
love
God
her,
bless
your
you.
family, and I'll be in Belize.
Everybody visit Belize. I encourage everybody to come to Belize when Joe is coming to Belize.
Oh, no, I'm
Everybody,
coming.
you're welcome.
Once again, hold up, Sean. One more before we go, because this is the biggest show in the game. Yo, Sean, tell them how to donate to the PayPal.
That's SHYNE BARROW MESOP 2020@gmail.com.
Sean, I love you, my brother. Thank you for everything. Thank you for
I
transparency.
love you too, my brother.
Thank you for all the years of
We
friendship. I love you.
we didn't even get to talk about your artist, Angelica Villa, who used the Bonnie and Clyde song. Come on, man.
Yo, Sean,
You
thank you
wilding
for
out.
clearing that.
You
Sean,
got to
thank you
get
for
me.
clearing that.
You got to get me
love you,
back
my
on
brother.
here so we could talk about music. I want to come back on September 26th so we could talk about the Shine album.
Let's do it. September 26th, we come back with the Shine album and everything else. I love you, my brother. This
All right,
shit
God
gonna
bless
run
you,
out.
my brother.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
You don't know who I know. Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday. This is the biggest show in the game, man. I'm tired of it. We're going to keep going till we get that bag. The whole shit was a Joker moment. And the man done changed. And you can't change. It's called redemption. It's called, hey, guess what? I was around the wrong people.